Okay, this is the Continuous Quality Improvement Program Planning Worksheet Overview. It's a tutorial on how to fill this out when you are doing the QIF cohort. So first, the purpose of a Continuous Quality Improvement Program Plan, or a CQIP, is to assist early childhood administrators in identifying and achieving improvements to strengthen their programs. This is done by gathering sources of evidence, analyzing the data, and creating measurable objectives to systematically develop a plan to carry out the steps required for making changes in your program. For this quality improvement cohort, you'll be filling out one or more of these after you complete your self-assessment. So you will need one worksheet for each objective that you develop. So we'll start here in the first line, right here, the budget line, and this has been added so that you can let us know which items you plan on ordering to go with each CQIP. This will need to be added after you fill out your budget sheet. So if you fill out your budget sheet and you have more than one sheet, you would have to put not only here the number of on the lines, but which page number as well. So then we'll move down here to the length of time. For the cohort, it's usually pretty much immediately within the first 3 months, we'll be having these completed. Could be short term depending on when you get materials completely ordered and in, but we usually recommend an immediate sort of turnaround for that. And then we go down here to where you actually write your objective. Objectives should start with the word to and should be measurable. So continuous quality improvement objective is to do what? To improve quality in some way. Let's go here, something like that. My objective is to provide many and varied appropriate materials in fine motor and music and movement to create a full learning experience for all children in the group. This will raise my learning activities subscale score from a 3.6 to a 4.2. That's very specific and measurable to see if you have achieved that goal or not in increasing quality. For the cohort, you will be writing one for one of 3 subscales on your ERS, which is your self-assessments that you're going to be using. It would be the areas or the subscale of space and furnishing, the listening, talking, or literacy area, and then finally the activities area. And this is because these are the subscales that can be positively affected by actually purchasing items, which of course is what we're going to be doing in this cohort, purchasing items to increase these scores and raise quality. Some of the other subscales, which are very important, have a lot more to do with the interactions between teachers and staff, so not applicable for this particular set of CQIPs that we're going to be doing. Okay. Then over here, the staff coordinating and then staff involved. Please make sure that you put your name instead of just director. I know, like in an example, I would put just the director down, but put your actual name because there's no other place on this form where I would have your name so I'd know whose program it is that the CQIP belongs to. Projected date of completion would go here. The actual date of completion will be done after we get everything done. So you'd leave that one blank to begin with. Okay, so accelerate Illinois standard number or name. You're going to identify one that relates to your objective. And typically it's going to be 1A. That's the learning environments standard. So that typically is the standard that would be placed here. Then go over here, check the circle of quality that relates to the standard you just identified. For the cohort, that would be silver or gold, depending on which one you're working towards. And then we move down here to listing the action steps required to successfully achieve the objective. So you would start and go very specifically, you know, from what you first have to do after you've already done your ERS, whichever one you've done. What are the next steps? And that's usually something like researching the items that you need to have placed in the area to increase the score, getting a quote from some vendors, placing the order, things like that until you get to the end. And I'll show you an example of that when we get done here. If you don't have enough space here, you need more lines. What you would simply do, because this is a typable and fillable form, you would go down here to the bottom, right click, go ahead and right click, then you would go to insert, and then insert rows either above or below. I would say hit maybe below, and then I could add as many as I want that way. So once again, right click, insert, and then insert would bring you over here to rows above or below, and insert another. And then it'll just keep expanding, okay? Then we'll go down here. Oh, well, over here, the person's responsible, pretty self-explanatory, but please put the actual names of the people, projected date of completion, and then actual date of completion will be done once again as each step gets done. This is a workable document. It's not stagnant. We will use it to determine the progress as we move along. All right, so coming down here, what source of evidence did you use to determine the need for the objective? That's going to be, for the cohort, would be your ERS, whichever one you used. If it's the FICRS for the family child care, or say the ECHRS, one of those usually. And then the date that you had already completed over here, that self-assessment, which would usually be prior to actually writing the goal. What resources or supports are needed in order to achieve this objective? Any anticipated challenges would go here. So something maybe like time, material, staff issues, things that you might anticipate would need a little extra help to make this goal happen. Professional development or technical assistance needed. You would list any people that may be required. It could be some resources, information, could be myself, the infant toddler specialist or the quality specialist here at SAL Childcare. And then changes and improvements. Once again, that would be more detailing any that's occurred because of using resources. So that's kind of more of an after. So not necessarily anything has to be put in there right away. And that's the complete form. So let me stop sharing that screen and I will share for you one that is complete so you can kind of see what it looks like in its completed format. And like I said, you would need one of these for each goal that you're trying to achieve. If you're a family child care provider, that would be no more than 3. If you're in a center, it would be 3 per each scale that you used, and that would be at a maximum. You wouldn't have to have that many. If you have any questions, please get a hold of us at SAL Childcare Connection, and we'd be more than happy to help you.